Shalom to you all and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I would like to thank you all for joining me again in this discussion and for giving me your time today. So, as we look upon the current global situation, the economic situation of the world, the geopolitical tensions all across the world, everything that is going on across the world, what can we learn as Africans? What can we do as Africans to protect ourselves first and foremost, and to look for a course and look for a path that will provide prosperity to Africans, safety to Africans, and a better life for each and every African in Africa. So, as I stated earlier, the Communist Republic of China is the greatest threat to the economies of the global South. What do I mean by saying this? Let me start by saying that I love all countries and all peoples of the earth without bias. But as an African and as the chairman of the African Social Democratic Movement, the current status quo is unbearable to me. In my opinion, the Republic of China and its economic policies are more dangerous and more detrimental to Africa's growth and future, and, dare to say, more disastrous than the transatlantic slave trade and the colonization of Africa combined. Why do I say this? Let's put it into context and look at the economic policy of the Communist Republic of China. In China, the government provides subsidies to all their industries, 0% loans on all their industries, free infrastructure, including free shipping, and preferential treatment to all their companies. And not only this, the government of China, the Communist government of China, demands that each and every company that wants to do business in mainland China to share their intellectual property to them. So how can this situation be fair to anyone? How can we as Africans compete with this kind of unfair business practices? So this is the reason why I keep saying that we as Africans should sit down, recalculate, recalibrate, and re-strategize our economics, not our politics. So, I say this because unless the African Union revises and restructures the economic policy of Africa, Africans will find themselves slaves once again in their own land. For example, would you believe it when I tell you it is easier for a trader in Kenya to import something from China than it is for him to import the same product from Nigeria or Egypt or South Africa? Why and how can it be? Where is our manufacturing? Where is our infrastructure? Where is our cooperation? Africa is rich in resources. Everybody knows this. We have numerous natural resources. We have numerous human resources. Africa is the fastest growing population in the world. Africa has the youngest population in the world. So how come we are still languishing at the bottom of the economic food chain? This is a question which we should ask ourselves each and every day. Many people will say, we can do this, we should do that, but unless we revise and restructure our economic policies, we will never succeed. Mark my words. Unless we restructure our economy, we cannot be able to compete with the likes of China, because they are living in a different mindset, while we are still living in a mindset of peace, love, and unity. We should sit down and think, okay? I can detail more unfair business practices employed not only by China, but many other countries all across the world. But that discussion is for another day. So, what can we do? The African Social Democratic Movement has an economic policy which I believe is the only solution to the economic crisis that has plagued Africa for the last 7 or 8 decades. One of our most significant economic policy is the Africa First policy. This policy states that anything that can be produced and sourced in Africa should not be imported. Mark my words, anything that can be sourced and produced in Africa should not be imported. This is basic common sense. So the second part of this policy advocates for a common free market within the borders of Africa. I strongly urge all Africans and all African leaders all private stakeholders in Africa to join hands with the African Social Democratic Movement so that we can implement this and other policies for the sake and for the prosperity of all Africans. As I have stated many times before, the problem in Africa is not political, but rather the problem in Africa is economical. I thank you all for joining me once more, and I thank you for your time today. I urge you all to watch this video, like it, subscribe, you know the drill, and to stay tuned for more videos as we discuss critical issues, critical solutions, okay? Thank you all once more. As I finish today, I want to thank the Almighty God for this great opportunity. I want to thank the Almighty God for his countless blessings and everything, okay? Shalom to you all, and God bless you all. Much love.